guys already know this is the main one tapping in all the way from H-Town, Houston, Texas. I'm here with my boy T.A.G.
T.A.G. T.A.G, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's T.A.G shit.
The only thing we're gonna do is take over, baby.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama.
What it is, what it was, and what it do, T.A.G Nation. It's your boy ScooterRay here with another NXT.A.G. Alright, it's week 2, Gold Rush. You remember this was the 2-week special where, you know, pretty much every title except for the NXT Men's Championship was on the line. This is week 2, and this one kicks off with the Men's Evolve Championship of Jackson Drake defending against Sean Legacy. I need to start doing some homework on Evolve, because to me it's starting to get that same feeling how WWE at the time, and then if you wasn't watching NXT, you was really missing out. Back when, you know, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and all of the Finn Balor and all of them was in NXT back before, like right before Neville came to the main roster. It's starting to feel like that era, and that's what Evolve is starting to feel like for NXT. That I need to start tapping in to Evolve, because I feel like there's some special things going on down there. So I need to start watching Evolve. But Jackson Drake, he's part of the trio. Swipe right. Yeah, you know. Those guys. Those swipe right guys. But on all honesty, since they put this on Gold Rush, I honestly thought Sean Legacy was gonna get it. I know that they've been building up Sean Legacy, and I honestly thought he was going to get it, but Jackson Drake did pull out the dub, and he retained his Evolve Men's Championship. So, because I know they're pretty high on Sean Legacy, so maybe it could be one of them situations that maybe they're ready to bring Sean Legacy up to NXT. But I honestly thought he was going to get it. Then we get a segment of Ethan Page talking to Sol Ruka, and he was pretty much saying, you got to start worrying about yourself, because when you worry about yourself, that's how you become champion. That's how you do the things you need to do. So pretty much forget Zarya. Then Miles Bourne walks in, and pretty much Ethan Page is looking at his next challenger. You know, I've been saying it when Ethan Page went against Tavion, that I think Miles Bourne was going to be the one to dethrone Ethan Page at this point. So we shall see. We shall see. Shiloh Hill had another segment, and once again, I'm trying to understand where they're trying to build with the character, because he was talking about how he used to wrestle with his dad. Then he was talking about how him and his dad wrestled, and he accidentally went for a Luthez press. I think he said he knocked some of his teeth out or something like that. Then he started bringing up like his friends. Then he started saying, I don't know what my bolt cutters is at. Then he was like, you know what? Stay tuned. And I was like, huh? What's going on? So I guess we got to stay tuned. John Cena appeared. Actually, no, sorry. Before we get to John Cena, we did have another championship match. Zarya and Fallon Henley for the Women's Speed Championship. Remember, Sol Ruka relinquished the belt. They had a tournament. This is the finals. This was a pretty good match. It went beyond the 5 minutes because these ladies was really going at it. And after the time expired, Ava comes out and was like, nah, we got to have a winner. And it's funny because she says, like, it's sudden death rules. And I find it funny because the Speed Championship is sudden death rules anyway. Like if you lose within the 3 minutes or the 5 minutes, that's it. So for them to be like, it's certain death, the first pinfall wins. That's how it works. Regardless, it could be me, but that's how it works. Regardless, but it went to sudden death. Of course, shenanigans and chicanery. Fallon Henley gets the dub. So Fallon is your new women's speed champion, and yes, JC Jane is your NXT women's champion. So later on, Lainey Reed goes for the Evolve Women's Championship, and we shall see if she completes the trifecta of, all 3 members of Fatal Influence being champ. Then we get to John Cena, and he pretty much announces the 5 men that's going to be in the Iron Survivor: Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox of Dark State, and the winner of the main event, Miles Bourne and Trick Williams. That is your men's Iron Survivor that will take place next weekend, and more on the men's side later. Then we get Izzy Dame. It was a short little thing, and I can see why they put it there, but pretty much she was like, Tatum, you knew this was coming, but tune in next week and I'll explain more. Huh? Why we could have just waited to just next week. You didn't have to give us the little precursor to let us know to watch next week, so you could explain why the culling in essence betrayed. But fine, whatever. The next match, the triple threat match for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Kalani Jordan is defending against Jordan Grace and Lei Ying Lee. Once again, solid triple threat. Now, I don't know, something about this match felt a little off to me. I don't know, is it that these 3 ladies weren't used to working with each other? I don't know. It was something about this match that felt weird, and I really can't place why it felt so weird. It wasn't a bad match. It was just something that just felt off about this match to me. And once again, I totally understand it could 1000% be a me thing. You know what I'm saying? It can 1000% be a me thing. But ultimately, Lei Ying Lee dethrones Kalani Jordan, and she is your new TNA Knockouts champion. So the belt goes back to TNA. Then we have a segment of Fatal Influence chatting with Fatal Influence chatting, basically saying, Lainey, you got to go out there, do what you got to do so you can become Evolve Women's Champion. So, what I'm saying, all 3 members can have gold. Ava comes back there and she was like, hey, you're hey, Fallon, JC, y'all banned from ringside. So if Lainey wants to be champion, she got to do it by herself, big dogs. So of course they was pissed. And then it was either Fallon or JC yells out, can she even do that? Yes, she can. Yes, she can. Then we get a sit-down interview with Ricky Saints, and pretty much it was him and Megan. I want to say it was Megan, and pretty much talking about him being champ and the fact that Oba's coming back and Oba wants the belt. And pretty much it's kind of like Ricky is having a little bit of doubts that, yeah, I was able to dethrone Oba, but, this isn't the same man that I dethroned. So I have a little doubts that, I don't have all the confidence going into this match, but we shall see. We shall see if Richard Saints will be able to overcome the ruler, Oba Femi. Then we get to that match now for the Evolve Women's Championship. Kendall Gray with Ren taking on Laney Reed with no fatal influence. Pretty solid match. I mean, you can tell something was supposed to happen in this match because it felt like it was building towards it. Like it felt like it was building towards however the ending was supposed to go. It didn't feel like the ending was a natural thing. And I don't know if there was like some mistimings or some miscues, especially towards the end. But ultimately, fatal influence does come out. And when Ren is on the apron, she gets rid of Fallon. Then JC runs from the other side. She hits Ren, and Charlie Dempsey comes out of nowhere and catches Ren. And of course, Ren is like shocked that Dempsey is back and, you know, basically saved her. Then it took forever for the ref to throw the 4 out, and it made it seem like at some point Laney was supposed to do something to get the upper hand. But when she got the upper hand, Kendall still kicked out, and ultimately it led to Kendall hitting her finisher. I think it's Shades of Grey, and Kendall Gray retains. And it was like, I could understand if they didn't want Laney to win and have all 3 members having gold, but it was like the way the ending was built, it felt like it was a timing thing with the end. But ultimately, Kendall Gray retains her championship. Then we get a segment of Dark State in the back, and pretty much Dion Lennox is back there saying that, yeah, it's about time we bringing some singles gold to Dark State. Don't worry, we're gonna do this, blah blah blah. You know, typical Dark State speak. Then they was like, yeah, we need to keep an eye on this main event between Bourne and Trick. So, boom. Then we get John Cena announcing the 5 women of the women's Iron Survivor. So we get Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, who had just lost her championship, Jordan Grace, who just lost that match, and Kendall Gray, who just retained her Evolve Women's Championship. So there you go. Your 5 women, and they announced that the 5 women will have a summit next week on NXT. Then we get to the main event of the evening with men's Iron Survivor implication. Miles Bourne taking on Trick Williams. And once again, the winner will be added to the men's Iron Survivor match. If you heard me do any reviews and things like that before, nothing about this match said Trick Williams was going to win. The build into it, everything, nothing said Trick Willie was winning this match. It was a good back and forth. You know, Trick was being Trick. He's being the heel. He's being this. But nothing about this match said Trick Willie was getting this dub. But ultimately, I want to say 3 different times throughout the match, Miles Bourne hit his finisher. I think he hit it once before, I think in the ring, but Trick was able to escape it. He hit it on the outside of the ring. Then he rolled Trick in the ring, hit it again, and that's how he got the dub. Then, of course, Miles couldn't celebrate without Dark State's music hitting. Now, by the time Miles finished winning, it's 8:58. By the time Dark State shows up, it's 8:59. Dark State starts to make it to the ring. Then Javon, Leon, and Joe show up to kind of like, hey, we're here to be on Miles' side. And then boom, news. Boy, that hard 9 o'clock, they are not playing with that 9 o'clock. That is the wildest thing, that when it hits 9, NXT is off. They don't give it 9 o'clock in a couple of seconds. Nope, 9 o'clock off. But pretty much that was Gold Rush week 2. Next week, we will be rolling into the Go Home show for Deadline. So far with Deadline, we got the men's Iron Survivor, and once again, Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Deion Lennox, and now Miles Bourne. We have the women's Iron Survivor, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray. We got Obafemi and Ricky Saints for the NXT Men's Championship. And I want to say that is all the matches. I think it's just those 3 matches so far that are announced for Deadline. I don't think there's a 4th yet. A 4th or 5th, because I don't know necessarily. Because I know the Iron Survivor matches, are 25 minutes each, and I don't know if they announce a 4th. So maybe come next week, we may get a 2nd or 3rd. I mean, 4th or 5th match added to the show card. But we shall see. But yeah, whether you loved it or hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Like, share, subscribe. After you do all of that, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified for when we post videos. Shout outs to the Tag brethren out there. And for the good people out there in the Tag Nation and beyond, make sure you love yourself, love yourself and love others. Take care of yourself and take care of others. And until next time, you beautiful people out there, don't forget to tag out. Peace.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama